everybody, welcome back to Coffee Break. My name is Bubba and I was a coffee dude at Google for the past 11 years. As always, the topics will be coded in the show notes, so if at any time you want to jump forward or skip ahead, you can go ahead and do that. This episode, we'll be talking about a little bit about the sea market, how climate change is affecting not only the yield but also quality, a documentary coming out, a couple podcasts, as well as a new educational roasting class that I came across. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so the first thing we'll talk about is what is the sea market. So the sea market, from kind of how we know of it today, was created in 1968, 1969. I thought the sea market meant commodities market or like coffee market, but it actually means centrals market. So it's a place where people can exchange, buy, sell coffee. And there are standards that are in place for people who are trading on the sea market. Some of those standards that are in place are like it must be Arabica, let's say, it must be unroasted, needs to be produced in one of 20 predetermined countries or exchanged in one of 8 warehouses across the world, traded at quantities of 37,500 pounds or the size of a shipping container. This article is really cool, goes in a whole bunch more detail, and if you have the time, definitely check it out. I know I learned a whole bunch. This will get you and put you in a place where you can talk a little more on this and really see how this can affect you and your day-to-day. We're going to cover a podcast shortly that talks about the sea market and pricing, so yeah, go ahead and check that out as well once we start diving into it. And our next story, it talks about climate change and how it's affecting the quality of the coffee, not just yields. For a long time, people just look at the yields, like how much coffee is being produced during the harvest seasons and such every year, based off of, droughts, frost, and everything because of climate change happening. But this article found a couple different trends when they did their research and trying to determine, how is the climate change affecting coffee quality. One is that coffee flavor and aroma is improved when the coffee is grown at higher altitudes, and the second is increased light exposure is associated with decreased sensory attributes. So the more sun something gets, apparently, like the less stuff, meaning like flavors and such, you'll be able to pick out of the smaller nuanced flavors, you'll be able to pick out of the coffee and such. Some things that they also found as well is that the coffee quality is affected by the changes in the amount of water the plant receives. Again, drought and such. Temperature, carbon dioxide levels, nutrient management in the soil, all of which are potentially affected by climate change and adaptation. The article does go into more detail the further down you read, but definitely check this out if you're looking to find out, how climate change is affecting coffee, not only on the yield side, but also the quality side. And the next topic I want to talk about is actually a documentary that will be coming out in 2022. It's called Stronger Than Coffee, which is a documentary focusing on women coffee farmers in Costa Rica. So it's a collaboration between Denver-based progressive film and marketing collective Needle Plus Frame and Costa Rica-based women farmer-focused nonprofit Bean Voyage. The article talks about the documentary will be marketed in both English and Spanish and highlights the fact that women account for approximately 70% of the labor in coffee production, including operating 20 to 30% of coffee farms globally. It says that wide gender gaps remain in terms of access to resources such as credit, land, and technical assistance. Each of these women that are helping with the documentary are given a camera, and they can kind of tell their own story from their perspective, so it should be pretty interesting. It also talks about the Bean Voyage. The documentary is meant to promote not only young NGOs, broader mission to support women and coffee farmers, but that's further supported, it seems to, like the article says, by a recent collaboration with the Starbucks Foundation for food security programming to benefit some 100 smallholder coffee farmers in Costa Rica. So look out for that coming out in the near future. I'll put a link to where you can get updates in the show notes. So the first podcast pick of the week is from the Daily Coffee Pro with Lisa Farr, kind of coupling what we talked about a little earlier with the sea market. She goes over what is happening right now with the sea market, being that it hit its highest point since 2012. So goes into a little detail about what the sea market is, but also how this can affect you where you are in this coffee supply chain. So awesome kind of breakdown of what's happening, how it's going to affect you or how it will potentially affect you. give it a listen if you have the time. So the next podcast I want to touch on is actually from Adventures in Coffee. It's titled Scott's Secret to Finding a Great Coffee Shop. So I don't know about you, but when I travel, I like to find the best coffee shops I can, specialty usually. I do a ton of research. And there are some things that I look out for specifically before I even visit them. That I check out Yelp, I check out different review sites. Three of the main things that this guy actually talks about and touches on are the type of beans that the coffee shop uses, the type of milk, and also the service that they provide. So definitely check this out if you're looking to up your coffee exploration game. And yeah, good resource. And the last thing I want to touch on is actually a coffee roasting course from a previous U.S. Roasters champ named Mark Michelson with Ally Coffee, rather. It's a comprehensive coffee sample roasting course. It's about $195, I think. I'll put a link to the show notes if you're looking to get some more training on, or actually just start into doing some sample roasting for yourself to kind of see what that takes. This is an opportunity that I did find that you can take advantage of, and I'll put the links to this course in the show notes. All right, well, that's all I have for today. You guys have a happy Wednesday. If you're in America, happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. If you like what you saw, hit the like button. If you have any comments or recommendations, leave those in the comment section. And if you want to get notified on any of the most recent drops, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll catch you next time.